without needing to go through all the publisher industry questions that you have to get through. It's like what the internet did for writing and stuff. Everything's out there, so there's a lot of shit. But if you can wade through it, you can find really good stuff that is made a lot easier to find with the new networks and that sort of thing.
Kind of comes back to the fact that publishers are in a lot of ways stupid because everyone's paranoid. We don't want to piss off Walmart because they'll drop our titles and we'll never sell another game. Well, if the industry just said, sorry, we're going to act as a coalition and we're going to say, back like Walmart, well, what are Walmart going to do? They have to sell someone's game. In Australia, they're the same situation. The publishers and distributors in Australia, they spend a fortune doing these individual vendor shows. So they do the EV vendor show, and they take all their stuff up to Gold Coast, and they put on this great show. And then they do one for the next retailer 3 weeks later. Well, why? It's stupid. You just say, well, we'll have an event here, and retailers, you come to us. We'll do it all at once. We'll get it over with a bang. It's all done. But no, because they don't want to piss off the retailers, they do it individually. Oh, we have to, Well, act as a coalition, and then have much more power, and you can.
Perhaps we could herd some cats.
So an industry cartel would be a good thing, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk to each other.
Yeah, next OPEC. Yeah, like it.
I don't think it's going to be until the next generation of consoles come. But I mean, digital distribution is obviously here, and it's very popular. But I don't think it's going to be like an inherent part of the way people buy games until that next generation, where people have gotten used to it more and they understand it, and our bandwidth and our caps are better, and there's more deals where you get unlimited Xbox Live downloads, unlimited Steam, all that sort of stuff. And until then, I think we're just going to have to we'll be paying more for it because they want it as an option still, right? But until they're ready to let go of the retailers or to kind of work out a way to make it all work like that, we're going to have to put up with that and just have that as an option. It's just this to and fro, and until it's like a really, really accepted and easy thing to do, like buying music for iTunes, how easy it is to do that, despite the program. Until that's kind of easier to do, it's going to be this. I feel like it's a tug of war. Perhaps I'm speaking out of my depth, but that's kind of how I feel. The way it's going at the moment with that side of things.
When you say new console generation, like the next console generation, that's what I wonder about. That's a big X factor for me. I mean, the Wii has shown us at this point, for all its flaws, that new console generation is no longer about getting the best graphics, getting the best technology. It's all about, it started to be more about innovating in the whole concept of gaming in itself. Because personally, I think the graphics on the PS3 and Xbox 360, it's about as good as graphics are ever going to need to be. I mean, we can make a game like GTA 4 where you've got an entire sprawling city and everything's got high definition rendering, lighting, and it all looks great. I don't think we need any more technology in like graphics or anything. I don't think we need any more power or capacity. Maybe this is naive of me. I mean, games are always getting bigger, but I don't see why they would need to.
The only thing I've really enjoyed, like that you're starting to see now, is those big worlds moving around better. When you start looking at stuff like Infamous and Prototype and I guess Uncharted, I mean, you start seeing those bigger worlds and Assassin's 2. That's kind of like, I would like to see just a bit more power with that. But I think I agree with you that they're pretty good, right? And it's not like, it's pretty rare now where you look at a AAA title and go, oh, I wish it was pretty. It's pretty enough. Just a bit faster.
Way past the days when you look on the back of the cassette box for your Commodore 64 and look at like the Amiga version and think, why am I poor? I want to be playing that.
So is it the case then that this sort of technological arms race we've been in for the last little while has created kind of lopsided games where the visual representations are becoming much more detailed, but the things you can do in the game haven't actually evolved quite as far? I know that Bajo and Hex will talk about a few points where the thing looks photorealistic, but you still can't hop over a little fence, or things that you do carry no consequences. Things like AI, fidelity, the simulation of the world hasn't progressed as far as the look of the thing. Do you think that's something that we stumbled on in the last hardware generation?
I don't know if it's that recent. I mean, Dragon's Lair a long time ago. Here's this amazing looking game, and you press the button at the right time. Oh, that's the game. So yeah, I don't think that's a recent change.
It's just the 3D technology's gotten really good lately. I mean, good 2D graphics will always look good, but old 3D is aged really poorly, especially in my N64 games.
Shaky textures.
Yeah, and PlayStation 1 as well. Sorry. We were going on, right? I was.
I guess it's.
Yeah, we lost that train of thought.
I guess train of thought too. Repeat the question, please.
Another topic there. One thing that was touched on briefly earlier was story in games. I was just in a session before this one. Paul Callahan, he's not here ready to go, so I can say that he actually did a really good job and did a very interesting talk, which I wouldn't say to his face. And really games with stories, the stories aren't pretty shit generally. I mean, particularly thinking about, the endings of games, some just handle ending very well. Some games have quite interesting characters and settings, but plots and themes don't generally hang together very well. Is that something we can hate on? Do you see any hope for improvement there?
I think the story in general has been kind of improving over the last few years. GTA 4, which was a huge release, I thought had at times really very strong characterization and writing. And there's a bit more sense of originality in things. But having said that, yeah, there's still not enough studios who place an importance on writing and who actually hire decent writers, or hire decent writers and then rewrite the stuff they write.
It gets a little bit back to the Hollywood envy though. I mean, I hate how many games have a story for no apparent reason. I'm sure everyone here can recognise now that a lot of the best gaming stories are ones that have been, naturally happen. They're basically your unique story. Particularly in open world games. There's the time that this happened, and then I did this, and then that happened. And, that's a story that you can tell other people. That's an interesting story. It's not often that the other day I actually saved the princess. It's not a very interesting story. Everyone has that story.
Storytelling is a good thing, but I still think that if we go back to that idea of games as art, that games can be a great medium for a fixed story.
To me, there's two types of ways that I'll love a story in a game, and one is that Dragon Age Origins kind of way where you're carving your own path and you become close to the story because you've gone it your own way, and then you have those really wonderful conversations with people about what you do. Oh, I killed that whole village. Oh, right, yeah, nice. Yeah, I like the werewolves. We slaughtered them and then ate their flesh. So I like that. I love that. It makes me love a story, no matter how ugly my character is. My Dragon Age Origins character is so ugly. Getting off topic. And the other one is something like with I keep saying about Uncharted 2, where you just love the character and he becomes so close to you because he constantly is mumbling like he's your friend and he's talking to you, and the voice acting is so good. And
I think he's a giant douchebag.
Oh, I liked him. I thought he was quite funny. Well, is that Brendan Fraser vibe?
Maybe because he reminded me of Joss Whedon's writing style, and I can't stand that. But yeah,
let's talk about that.
A lot of
it's more controversial than the God right?
There's a lot of linear stories in games. Shut up. There's a lot of linear stories in games that really affects me. Especially there's a few games that use linear storytelling without trying to be like a film. Because a lot of games try to be like a film, but there are some games that really use gaming's advantage of the blurred line between player and protagonist. Like Silent Hill 2 was one of my all-time favourite story-based games because it really wouldn't work as a film because you get really involved in the character of James Sunderland. You really feel for him because you are him. And when stuff gets revealed later on, it's sort of a betrayal. Like that increases the tragedy of the story. And again, Bioshock, the entire midpoint twist was based around the gaming's relationship between player and protagonist. I'm trying not to give spoilers here, so I won't elaborate, but I'm sure you'll know what I mean.
Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg, I think, as far as hate goes, but I'd like to involve the audience a little bit. If anyone else has anything that they hate about games, I'd like to ask the panel or talk about, please.